Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm going to tell you today about the first African American aviator in the U.S. Marine Corps, a guy by the name of Frank E. Petersen Jr. His father, Frank E. Petersen Sr., immigrated to the mainland United States from the U.S. territory of the U.S. Virgin Islands, from St. Croix. And he immigrated and settled in Kansas, and he saw the limitations at that time that African Americans were supposed to have in the corporate world, but he didn't let that deter him. So what he did was he started his own business. First, he started selling electronics. Then he eventually went into the real estate business. And his mother graduated from university around a time where there were not many African American students in integrated universities. So he came from a goal-driven family who didn't let Jim Crow laws or the color of their skin deter them from what they wanted to do. So Frank Petersen enlisted in the Navy first, and when he enlisted in the Navy, he had to take the test twice, and he aced the test the first time, but the recruiter thought he cheated. So he took it the second time, and he actually did better on it the second time than he did the first time, which was an amazing achievement because he got a near perfect score the first time. So he enlisted in the Navy, and he was a technician. He was an electronics technician in the Navy. But when Jesse Leroy Brown died in the Korean War, he did not know, before that happened, Frank Petersen Jr. did not know that African Americans were allowed to fly in the U.S. Navy and the U.S. Marine Corps. But when he heard that story, he got motivated to become a Marine Corps aviator. So he went to Marine Corps Officer Candidate School, and then he went on to earn his wings, and in 1950, towards the end of the Korean War, but he was in the Korean War. Towards the end of it, he flew 64 missions in the Korean War, and he had an air-to-air kill. And he went on to fly in Vietnam as well, and he flew over around 300 missions in Vietnam. He flew a total of 350 missions. He flew close to 300 missions in Vietnam, and he had an F-4 Phantom. That's what he flew in Vietnam, and his F-4 was shot down near the 17th parallel. That was the DMZ in Vietnam at the time that separated North and South Vietnam. And for that, he was awarded the Purple Heart. And he went on to command, he went on to be the first African-American general in the U.S. Marine Corps. He also went on to be the first African-American to command a Marine Corps base. So he commanded an entire Marine Corps base. He also commanded an entire Marine Corps air wing. And he realized to make general, he had to do some things other than flying, so he had to do some administrative work as well. It's not something he wanted to do because he really enjoyed flying, but he was determined to get that star. And in 1967, he earned his bachelor's degree. In 1973, he earned his master's degree, both from George Washington University. And unfortunately, in 2015, he passed away, but the former Secretary of the Navy, Ray Mabus, he announced that there will be a destroyer that will be named after Frank Petersen Jr., which I firmly believe Mabus did the right thing in that. Frank Petersen Jr. deserves to have a destroyer named after him. He did many good things in the Korean and the Vietnam War, and he helped pave the way for many African Americans in the U.S. Marine Corps. And the time he was in Korea, he seemed to believe in the cause to keep Korea free from communism. He said he did not endure any discrimination from the Korean population. He said they treated him really well. He said he was treated with a lot of hospitality when he was in Korea. And that's where he earned his first air-to-air kill. So he helped keep Korea free, helped keep my second home free. So I'm very grateful for that. And I'm also very grateful for his continued service to help pave the way for African Americans in the U.S. Marine Corps and to help break down unfortunately, the unjust racial barriers that plagued the U.S. Marine Corps for a long time. But he helped make it better. He was quoted as saying, "As much as I'd like to philosophize and say that me being the first African American Marine aviator, as well as the first African American general," he said, "as much as I would like to philosophize and say it didn't make a difference, I believe that it did, and it definitely made a difference." So thank you, General Frank Petersen. So, anyways, hope everyone's doing well. Take care. God bless. And bye bye. Bye bye.